Alright, so today we're going to talk about area of triangles, and any side of a triangle can be called a base. Okay, but the big thing is that the height of a triangle must be perpendicular to its base, meaning it has to form a right angle like this one over here. The area of the triangle formula is 1/2 base times height, so we're going to use that formula to find the area of all these figures. Alright, let's go ahead and do an example. So again, I told you that the base and the height must be perpendicular, which means first thing we gotta do is look for the right angle. So here's my right angle, which means here's my height and here's my base. They have to be touching and perpendicular like that. Okay, so we're gonna use our formula. Area equals 1/2 base times height. So it's 1/2 the base, which is 12, times the height, which is 4. You multiply first, so multiply these two first, that gives you 48. And when you're multiplying by half, that means just divide by 2, so that means it's 24. So it's 24 units. And the units when you're multiplying or area for area is squared, units squared. All right, the next one, again, same thing, look for the right angle. Okay, so that means here's my height, but in this one we don't have a base. But we do have a right triangle, which means we can find the base by doing a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or Pythagorean theorem. Remember, c is always the hypotenuse, so that's 15 squared. A represents altitude, so that's 9 squared. B represents base, so that's b squared. So it gives me 81 and 225 when you actually square them. I'm going to subtract the 81 over. So you get b squared is equal to 144. And then when you take the square root, you get b is equal to 12. So now we know our base. Our base is 12. And since we know that, we can now find the area. So it's 1/2 base times height. Again, our base is 12. Our height is 9. Remember, multiply those two numbers first. So you get 108. And then divided by 2, you get 54. So the area of this one would be 54 units squared. All right. For this one, same thing. Look for the right angle. My right angle is over here, which means this is my height. My base, though, is this line way over here. Because it extends out, that means it's continued. Okay, so we can find our area by doing 1/2 base times height. We know the base to be our 29.5. Our height to be 14. So again, multiply those first. You get 413. And then divide it by 2. You get 206.5. The units is inches, so it'd be inches squared. All right, for the next one, again, here's my right angle, which means here's my height, and here's my base. And both of them are unknowns. What I notice here is I have a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. And remember, 30, 60, 90 right triangle, the hypotenuse is 2 times my short side. So if I divide by 2, my short side would be 8. Remember, the short side is always opposite the 30-degree angle. So this means that x is 8. My side opposite 60 is always 8 times the short side times the square root of 3, so it would be 8 square root of 3. So when we're finding our area, our base, we're going to leave as 8 square root of 3. Our height is 8. When you multiply these, you're only multiplying these two numbers on the outside. So that's going to give you 64 square root of 3. And when you do the divide by 2 or multiplying by half, you're only doing it to those two numbers. So my area here would be 32 square root of 3 units. Okay. Last one. They give me the area, and they want me to find the height. They give me the area and the base, and want me to find the height. They tell me the area is 45.5, so that's going to go where the A is. The base, they tell me, is 14. That's going to go where the base is. We don't know the height. So we're going to multiply. Half of 14 is 7. And then you're solving for h. We're going to divide by 7 on both sides. And you get h to be 6.5.